Welcome to today's review where we talk about State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. Stick around to the end of this review to hear 5 things I like about this game and 5 things I do not. This game is a sequel to 2013's original State of Decay. This was developed by Undead Labs and published by Microsoft Studios for release in May of 2018. The Juggernaut Edition came out in March of 2020 and is a free expansion and a reworking of the new player experience. I played this on the Xbox One X with Turtle Beach Stealth 600 headphones and a 27-inch 4K HDR monitor. Links to my setup are down below. This is an open-world, third-person RPG action strategy zombie survival horror game. Did you catch all of those? Because there's a lot going on here. The graphic style in this game is realism. Now, this is not a photorealistic game. The graphics actually feel slightly dated for being done in 2018. They're still good, just feel slightly dated. But the graphic style is definitely that post-apocalyptic realism with a bit of grittiness going on. No funky colors, no funky hues. It's definitely that post-apocalyptic Earth. The experience on the 4K HDR monitor was just fine, and I really had no complaints on that. The sound in this game is pretty good. You get little weird sounds as you're searching around, as you're moving around. You can hear the zombies, other critters, and enemies around you without much trouble. And the music is not intrusive. It does come in at various points throughout the game, but it never gets in the way of your enjoyment of the game. This game normally costs $30, and as of this recording it's $21, but not for very long. There's no DLC listed. The Juggernaut Edition on Gamepass seems to include everything, and in-app purchasing is limited, but I didn't find a place to do any in-app purchasing, so that may be for people that don't have Game Pass. Speaking of Game Pass, the quest took me less than an hour, and this was me just playing the game. I actually had an old save on here that I fired up and was just continuing through. If I had focused in on trying to get this quest, it would have taken me about 10 minutes, maybe even less. This quest does reset within 24 hours of me getting this posted though. I apologize for the delay. If you like these reviews and you want to help me get them posted up faster and give you more time to decide whether you want to try to get the quest or not, make sure you subscribe down below. More subscriptions means I can focus more time on these and earlier in the week and get them done sooner. I've only played this in single-player campaign mode. There is also a daybreak mode I haven't yet investigated, and there is multiplayer available. In the mode that I played, you control 2 characters starting out and you eventually add more. You are trying to survive and thrive in the apocalypse. Zombie killing, resource gathering, base improvement decisions are all around you. Many missions crop up for you to decide whether you want to take them on or pass on them. And there's a main game thread, likely related to the plague heart mechanic, but I haven't really sweated whether I've been following it or not. The game does have difficulty settings, some presets, and then sliders so you can make your own custom difficulty. I chose the easiest to play on for this review. It has proven fairly easy, and I could probably enjoy this game on a harder setting. An average play session consists of choosing characters to do some missions with, equipping them, doing the missions, going on scavenging runs, choosing their skill progression paths as they get better at doing things, swapping those characters out and repeating that, choosing base upgrade options, and interacting with various computer-controlled groups out there in the wasteland. Your choices determine your outcomes. If you invest in food production to stay fed, you may not have enough resources to invest in upgrading your vehicles. There's a constant balance going on here like there is with any good strategy game. Travel is done either via walking or driving in one of the salvageable vehicles in the game. Most vehicles aren't salvageable. Fighting zombies via third person is a simple aiming and shooting, or is about 3 buttons to do via melee. Speaking of combat and controls, they are pretty simple. Movement is via one stick, most interactions are a simple button press on the other side, and there aren't a ton of them to remember. There aren't QuickTime events where you have to make a decision between how you want to respond to someone in a certain amount of time, so if you like that kind of gameplay, you're going to have to look elsewhere for it. The primary gameplay loop appears to be clearing out zombies from an area and scavenging supplies, and then you use those supplies to improve your group's living conditions. Missions are pretty much the same type of thing, but they add a layer of story behind what you're doing, and sometimes involve multiple locations and ongoing effects. This game does have solid replay value through differing difficulty levels and trying to grow your group with maybe a different mindset. Maybe on one playthrough you're going to want to be a group that does a lot of trading. Maybe on another one you're going to be a group that does a lot of conquering. Not only that, I could really see getting into the multiplayer version of this with friends. If you like this review style, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below. That tells me I'm doing a good job, it tells YouTube I'm doing a good job, and it makes sure you get more of these reviews coming up in your feed when you're looking for something to watch. If you don't like this style, leave me a note down below telling me why, and we'll see what we can do to change things up going forward. I am always looking to improve. As we get into my likes and dislikes, remember, these are all from the perspective of I'm just a regular person playing this game. I'm not going online and plugging into the greater community and learning the intricacies and ins and outs of the game. There are some things to dislike about this game. Playing single player vehicle acquisition is kind of a pain in the butt. I have not yet found a way to tell the computer player, hey, this second vehicle here, drive it back to our base because we want to keep both of them. The character screen has some ambiguity and it's a little difficult to navigate and understand at first. This could be made a little bit more clear in their opening play during the revamped new player version that they put together. The upgrade paths in the game for your base are not something that I found mapped out anywhere. You kind of have to discover it as you go. Most pure strategy games have a tech tree that you can refer to so that you know what your end goal is and you can work towards getting there in the most efficient way possible. Similarly, the skill progression for characters is something that is fairly opaque. You don't know what they're going to get to do or how to get to a specific type of skill. For instance, right now I want to develop a computer person, but I have no idea how to do that. Finally, there's a level of opacity into what is happening at the base when you are not physically there, and in fact sometimes even when you are. I spent 5 minutes running around the base just looking for one of my characters the other day to take them with on a mission. I couldn't switch to them because doing so would have abandoned the mission that had started. That said, there's actually a lot to like about this game. This game feels like it has a living world. There are mission pop-ups and infestation pop-ups that happen as you're playing, and this makes it feel like there's other things happening in the world, other people doing things, and it's not just a static world waiting for you to go out and find it. You can tune the characters in the game to your playstyle. Everyone that joins your group you are ultimately in control of, so as you do go through those character progressions and skill progressions, not that you'll see your goal ahead of time, you can still shape the journey to get to where you end up. The multiplayer to this game, even though I haven't played it, I can already tell would be great. I would love to sit down with the people I used to play Left 4 Dead with and play this game with them. The game is filled with stories, between the main story, the missions, and then just the character quips and the little character-specific missions that come up. There's a lot of writing that went on to help make this world feel real and alive, and I really appreciate that. Finally, this is an open world game. You get to go out there and pursue your own goals. As I said earlier, there is a main storyline, and I don't know if I'm following it or not, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and really for a game, that's what matters. My final verdict on this game is, as soon as it leaves Game Pass, buy it. If you don't have Game Pass, buy the game. Really, that's about it. Unless you don't like third-person action games, and you don't like strategy games, and you don't like ARPG games, because this has a little bit of all of that in there, you will like this game. Make sure to keep your eye on the channel, because tomorrow, as of this recording, we get new Gamepass Quests and updates for the month of November. I'll be doing a summary and starting to work my way through reviews later this week.